So, in this month's Reiki share and on this week's podcast, we've got quite a lot of news. Some of you may have noticed that the podcasts have only been happening every 2 weeks. That's just been a combination of crazy summer busyness since my adult children have all returned home, and the fact that I've been working on a new website, and I'm also working to put up my 2023 calendar. So a couple of things that I wanted to let you guys know about before we dive into our topic this week, which is the autumn equinox, the pause, and also going back into our childhood and reactivating our imagination and daydreams. But before we do that, I just want to let everybody know that I am making a few changes to the classes and just wanted to let you know about them. One of the things that's happening is that all ICRT licensed teachers charge the same for classes. And some of you can hear the cricket. All of a sudden, just as we started tonight, a cricket started chirping in our house. We haven't had a cricket in the house all summer, and tonight we have one. And some of the participants are saying that a cricket in the house is good fortune, but it's also about reactivating your intuition and your imagination. And that's really a message that's been coming through pretty strongly lately. So as for the classes, I have a full lineup of classes coming up in October, and all licensed teachers are required to charge the same amount for the classes, and the class fees have recently been adjusted for inflation, actually. And it's not a big adjustment, but it is a small one. And one of the things that I discovered as this was happening is that we are allowed to charge an early bird rate, and I didn't know that. So I'm actually allowed to charge $20 less if you sign up early, like at least 2 weeks early for the classes. So those of you who are registered already, I'm going to give you an option between either I will send you the physical manual as well as the online manual, or I'll do a rebate of $20. And for those of you who are thinking of signing up, I'd just like to encourage you to do that right away. There's a couple of really good reasons to sign up early. One is that your energy begins to shift as soon as you sign up, and so you're a little more prepared and able to allow the energy to go deeper in class. The other is I can get a paper manual to you if you would like. And then finally, you can save some money on the class, and you can also insure your seat that way as well. I also charge a lower rate for people to review, but what that means is if you're reviewing a class you've already taken from me, I charge a much lower rate. So if that's of interest to you to join us in October, check that out. Get in touch. I do have that in the write-up, and check that out as well. Now, I won't have the entire website updated by the time this podcast goes live, but I will have the 2023 calendar in place with all of the changes. And I also discovered that I'm able to accept payments for any classes. So I'm going to be getting that system in place so that you can make a smaller down payment and pay the classes off. Again, you get the discount if you have the class paid off 2 weeks prior to the class. And this is for any class, any of my future classes. And occasionally it's not possible to get the payments all done in time for the class. And when that happens, I just have to hold on to your certificate until the payments are complete. So we can also consider those arrangements as well. But it's been my experience that as soon as you sign up for class, or as soon as you form the intention to attend a class, the finances fall into place. They just show up magically for most of us, all of us. So if that's the case for you, just form your intention. It always winds up lining up. And a lot of people who make arrangements for the payments don't even need them in the end, because the finances do come together. So the classes in October, I have a level 1 and 2 and master class, and those are licensed. So those, if you take those classes, we call it an RMA class because for the Reiki Membership Association, when you take both level 1, Usui level 1 and 2 and masters from a licensed teacher, you qualify for professional membership in the Reiki Membership Association. I also have a Karuna class that begins October 31st. I also have animal Reiki classes in October. And all of our October classes are both online and in person. So you could join us online if you prefer, but if you would like to come to the farm, this will be the last in-person class for 2022. After that, our weather is a little unpredictable, so we'll be moving to online. And so in December, but I'd love to, and also in January, but I'd love to have you join us in October if it speaks to you. I also have had a lot of interest from Australian students, so I just want to let you know that I am going to be teaching a full 5 days, level 1 and 2 and master class for Usui in person in Australia in March. So the dates for that are set, and I'm just in the process. At the time that this podcast goes out, you should be able to register for those classes. The class size is limited. I am limiting it at a little larger size in Australia because I know how important it is for our Australian students to take those 2 classes in person. Your Reiki Membership Association wants you to have those in person, and I know how many of you would like to have a licensed class from the ICRT. So we'll be doing that, and that class is in Royalla, which is about 20 minutes from Queenborough and also 20 minutes from Canberra, or 25 perhaps from Canberra, depending on where you are. So we'd love to have our in the Southern Hemisphere join us for those in-person classes. I'll also be teaching a 2-day level 1 and 2 animal Reiki class when I'm there. And the other classes I'll teach online, but I really want to get those RMA classes to you in person, both for your association and also to assist you in becoming a professional member of the ICRT Reiki Membership Association, if that's what you'd like. So guys, this week's podcast and Reiki share, I wanted to share with you a couple of things. Something that happened in Sedona. You know that I'm becoming really good at following my guidance, even and especially when I am scared to death or don't agree with it. And Reiki has really been helping me work through fear and has been helping me look at fear differently. And as an example, I was afraid to teach Reiki, and Reiki really helped me get over that fear and realize that it's one of the great joys of my life. I was afraid to start a Reiki business. Same thing. I was afraid to write my Reiki business book. Same thing. Reiki and in the end, it wound up being amazing. In fact, in Sedona, a lot of the beautiful people there were having me sign their book, and I felt like this little minor celebrity or something, and it was just so lovely to have a chance to encourage them on their journey. And one beautiful soul even had it all bookmarked, like all the little tabs and stuff, and I thought, oh my gosh, somebody's tabbing my book. That's amazing. And she just said how much it was helping her just develop further into her Reiki, so she was going back to it and things like that. I was so honored, but I was scared to do that, and it turned out to be this amazing experience. So I'm getting ready to go to Sedona, and the Reiki energy says, and you're going to sing. And I said to the Reiki energy, have you heard me sing? That is not going to be pretty. Like, I like those people. I don't want to subject them to that. And the Reiki energy said, no, it's really important. And it was a specific song, you guys. One of the things that I do whenever I get overwhelmed, especially like when it's a habit I started actually when I was writing the Reiki business book, because writing that book was really overwhelming at times. There was so much to learn. There's so much to writing a book. In fact, I realized when I went to Arizona for the Reiki retreat that I really had poured all of myself into the book, and I was really actually still a little bit empty. And so the retreat was wonderful in that it filled me up, and I didn't even realize that I hadn't refilled all that I had put into the book. So at times when I would get overwhelmed with the book, I've taken to watching like American Idol clips on Facebook and some of the wonderful artists. I've always believed that artists are, as a scientist, I always felt that artists were heart-led and were a little bit ahead of us. And just when you think of it, when you think of so much of our technology today, it developed because it was in a movie or a show decades ago. And so I always felt that artists lead. So I love watching these brave people try out, audition, and just put their heart on their sleeve. And I'll watch it for quite a while, actually. If I need encouragement, I'll scroll through quite a few of the videos with tears streaming down my face and this sort of thing. And you guys will notice I share some of those sometimes in my social media feeds. But there was one particular song that I came across, and I'm just going to drop that in the chat, a link to that for any of you who'd like to check it out. Unfortunately, I can't say, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. I can't sing it to you tonight because of copyright issues, but I'm sending you a link to it. And for the podcast, I'm going to put the link in the podcast notes so that you can check it out. And it's a beautiful song called Daydream by Lily Leola. And it was an audition that she did this summer in July, I believe it was, July 7th for America's Got Talent, I think it was, the Simon Cowell show. And the message behind this was so profound. The chorus goes, "Darling, don't quit your daydream. It's your life that you're making. And it ain't big enough if it doesn't scare the hell out of you," is what it says. And it's just beautifully done. And she talks about, anyway, go ahead and check it out. She talks about how sometimes we're so scared to start and how we turn around before the finish line. And it's just beautifully done. It starts off when we're kids in the backyard playing rock stars, astronauts and rock stars. Nobody told us to stop it or said we were unrealistic. And then we're 18, go to college for plan B, and our dreams are too risky, and this sort of thing. And what the energy wanted me to do was get up there scared to death, which is actually what happened. I can talk in front of an audience now. I never could, but I can't. But to sing, and just to put this into perspective, you guys, when I was a child, my mom was the leader of our junior choir, and she used to say, "Sing quieter, Pam, sing quieter." I love to sing, but I could not reconcile my voice with the actual tune that was being played. So she would tell me to sing quieter, and my sister has the voice of an angel. She would park her beside me and say, "Sing louder, Shauna," just trying to get my sister to drown me out. So I wound up, I practiced with the talented licensed teacher, Chris Valentine. She plays my favorite instrument, the mandolin. And she showed me that I just have a really deep voice. And I couldn't sing the higher, I still can't sing the high notes. But if she could drop it down to match how low my voice is, it didn't sound half bad. So we practiced and practiced and just kind of tried to memorize the song. And then I got up during the talent show and I talked about what Source really wanted me to share was that so often we discount our imagination and we discount daydreams. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a child, I don't know how many times people said, look at her with her head in the clouds. There she is daydreaming again. Earth to Pam, and like all of these things telling me to come back into reality. And what Source was saying is no, it's time to reconnect with our childhood. It's time to heal those injuries because it's time to reconnect with our dreams. Those dreams are possible, but they're only possible if we believe that they are. And I'm getting shivers as I tell you this, you guys. And so the message is that it's time for us all to begin to appreciate our imaginations and to reconnect with those daydreams that life or other people or we ourselves may have said, oh, that's not possible. The word impossible says, I'm possible. And so I think that that Source is just asking us for that reframe and to realize that our dreams can come true. We dream of world peace. It can come true. We dream of an environment that is nurtured and cared for and healthy and strong. It can come true. These daydreams are possible for all of us. Now, at the same time that I'm guided to share this message with you, we're also stepping into the equinox energies. Now, those of you who've followed us for a while know that we always do a special meditation for every equinox and solstice. That's always just been a special time for us here at the farm. The horses always participate, and they're actually, even though it's a little too dark to show them this evening, they are participating with us tonight as well. And what better than a horse to connect you with your dreams? What girl hasn't dreamt of a horse? Not many. Even though. So we are entering that powerful, powerful time of equinox. And the equinox is the pause. This is the time of year, whether you're in the northern or the southern hemisphere, where we're in a pause. It's the time when the day length and the night are exactly equal no matter which hemisphere we're in. It's the time when everything pauses. And if you think about it, it's the time that everything is completely in balance. So we're going to make use of this powerful equinox energy that's coming just after a beautiful full harvest moon. And on top of all of that, as if that wasn't special enough that we've got this beautiful equinox energy to make use of, on top of that, there are 7 planets that are in retrograde right now. And so retrograde means they appear to be going backwards, and so retrograde usually means that we have an opportunity to review, to go back. And so my question for you is, what did you dream of when you were a child? What did what dreams have you put aside because you believe them to be impossible? And tonight I want to lead us in a meditation that makes use of all of these beautiful energies to just return us to that beautiful space of childhood wonder. We'll be using the special frequency of animal Reiki for that, because that seems to be particularly powerful at bringing us into a space of childhood wonder. And we're going to just release any of the limitations that you've placed on your imagination and on your dreams. And so tonight is just all about reconnecting with the dreams, reconnecting and understanding that they are possible. Without dreams, Einstein says that the most important thing is imagination. And without dreams, there can be no hope. There's an interesting television show that my husband and son have started watching called Sandman. And in it, the Sandman, who is the one who brings us dreams when we sleep, he's been captured. And so the world goes for several years without having dreams. And in one of the shows, like part of the premise behind it is if they don't have the dreams, they won't be creating these beautiful realities. Like, we need to reconnect them with the dreams. Humans will just stop developing without their dreams. So I want us to reconnect with our opportunity to develop today. I want us to reconnect with our dreams, and I want us to remember that anything we may have put limitations on and believed to be impossible says I'm possible. So that's what we're going to do today. Any questions before we begin, guys? Okay, well, I'm just going to invite you all to take a deep breath. We'll move into our meditation today. Go ahead and close your eyes and bring your hands into Gasho, just activating your Reiki energy. And just activating any of your Reiki symbols that you'd like to have here today. And I'm just going to be sending animal Reiki energy out to all of you, whether you're here for the monthly Reiki share or whether you're listening afterward. And so just feel that animal Reiki energy flowing all around you and through you. And breathe. And just letting go of anything you need to think about later and the busyness of your day up until now. This moment is about you and for you. So give yourself this time to focus your attention on you. And I invite you to place your hands comfortably on your body now, wherever you feel guided. And just breathing deeply. The Reiki energy, the animal Reiki energy, just noticing that the enlightened beings, the angels and archangels, and the divine animal kingdom are standing at the corners of the land around you and on every side. And there is an excitement within them that you are reconnecting with your dreams and childlike wonder. I invite you to imagine that it's a beautiful, warm, sunny day and that you're walking through a trail in a beautiful forest. As you walk along and as you breathe into yourself, you breathe in the life essence of the forest. And with each step that you take, the energy of the earth flows up through the bottoms of your feet. You continue to walk along until you come to the edge of the forest, and in front of you is a beautiful bridge. The angels, the archangels, the brothers and sisters of the light, the enlightened ones, the divine animals, they all have crossed over the bridge. And they're waiting for you to join them now in the higher heaven. I sometimes wonder if when we daydreamed as a child, we were accessing those higher heavens, that fields of possibility where everything was possible. In the higher heaven, there is only love, and so you decide to to cross over the bridge with your beautiful enlightened companions. And you realize that your light is beautiful like theirs. You just feel any fear or duality stripped from you, and you realize that fear is often misunderstood excitement. And so when there is something that you are nervous to do or afraid of, asking Reiki to help you through it often brings you onto your life path and purpose. So releasing the duality, we go into the third heaven now, and all there is love here. Fear cannot exist in this reality, in this heaven. Just feel into yourself and feel who you are without duality and without fear. Feel the purity of that consciousness. This is your divine self aligned with your human self, unencumbered by all of the energies that are associated with fear, like anger and discouragement and so on, sadness, grief, guilt, shame, blame. And so together from this place of pure love, just feeling your heart expanding, noticing that if you had a heart wall or any injuries to your heart, they've been stripped away. And so just feeling the purity of your own dear heart. Together with the animals, you walk down to this river in front of you. This is the river of life. The river of life is also filled with love and peace and hope and kindness. And just all of the frequencies of love. And you notice that the animals are drinking at the river, so you walk down yourself and you cup your hands and you take a long drink of these beautiful, pure, life-giving waters. And as you do, you can feel energetically that the waters become part of every cell in your body and every part of your being. We are primarily made up of water, and so your body becomes rejuvenated. If there is any place that you have pain or discomfort, it can be released now. Inflammation or congestion. And so emotionally, you are in the high vibration of love, and physically, you are in the high vibration of love. And just looking around at the divine beings who are accompanying you, you realize that mentally, you are also in the high vibration of love. And together with the animals, you decide that you are sated. And so you continue to follow the path along the riverbank. And this time we're looking for an opportunity to spiritually move into the highest frequency, the frequency of love. And together you walk along until you come to a beautiful garden. And there are gates around this garden, and there's the beautiful tree of life there. And the Divine Mother opens the gate and welcomes you and your companions, your guides, your supporters. And she leads you all to a beautiful bed of rose petals. It's so soft, and the fragrance is divine. And she guides you all to lie down there. You lie down, and the circle of enlightened beings form a circle around you, supporting you. The tree of life, the canopy of it is stretching over you, and you can feel the roots reaching beneath you in the ground, in the earth. The divine light of the earth flows up through you and into you, and at the same time, a beautiful beam from the highest heaven pierces the canopy of the tree and of the clouds above you and shines directly upon you. And so you feel held in the arms of the earth and held in the arms of God. Feel supported by the Divine Mother and Father and all the enlightened beings who are here supporting our journeys, cheerleading for us. And I invite you to just consider what limitations you have placed on yourself and on your dreams. Sometimes those limitations come in the form of labels. When we say, I am this and I am that, or I have this condition or that illness or limitation. Maybe those limitations were placed on you by others. People who told you you couldn't sing, or times when you felt you didn't have a voice. Maybe they were placed on you by your peers if you didn't want to stand out. The important thing to remember about limitations is that whether we placed them on ourselves or they were imposed by others, the people that placed limitations on us did not do so out of an intent to harm. It always came from a place of love and from a place of fear in themselves. The people, including yourself, who believed us to be limited, and to whom the understanding that we are limitless creates fear or discomfort. They felt they were helping us. So we forgive ourselves and others. As the light of forgiveness flows through us, we forgive them for whatever limitations we or they placed over us. And if we have identified too strongly with a disease or an illness or some such thing, we ask the Reiki energy to help us see our way forward in a manner that releases those limitations and allows us not to identify so strongly with them. It's nice to find a niche, it's nice to belong, but the truth is, we are limitless in what we are able to accomplish. And so as you feel these limitations and these identities that we have formed for ourselves just drop into the thirsty earth, we ask the Reiki energy to reconnect us with the power of our imaginations and reacquaint us with the importance of these same imagination we so often discount. And we're just going to breathe here for a while as your imaginations are reactivated and reconnected and reappreciated, if that's even a word. Understanding that as we connect with our imagination, we reconnect with our dreams and our daydreams, and we remember that what we once believed to be impossible says, I'm possible. And we're going to remain here for some time. Space you have been in is called the field of possibilities. You can enter it at any time. The only requirement is that you reconnect with your dreams. I'd like to invite you to stay in this space as long as you feel guided. And I'd like to thank our cricket friend for blessing us all with the energy of good fortune and the beauty of his music this evening. I do invite you all to check out the link in the chat or in the podcast notes. And go ahead and subscribe to Lily Leola's YouTube channel if you can. She's truly a remarkable human being, and the message in her song is so important, and may it continue to inspire you. Thank you so much for being with us today. Namaste.